Diamonds. No, no, that's the wrong one. No, not those either. There you go. Diamonds are honestly some of Valorant's most interesting players, I'm not gonna lie. In this rank you'll find just about anything, and I literally mean anything. From no-comm duelists, to AFKs, to Radiant or Immortal Smurfs, literally anything you could imagine, you'll find it in this rank. But despite what people say, you can actually get yourself out of Diamond. At this rank, I promise you that quite literally everyone can aim. So not unlike in the lower ranks, your mechanics usually won't pull you out of here. But as an Immortal 3 player who plays on my Smurf account from time to time to learn new agents, I can give you guys a pretty good insight as to how you too can get out of this rank. So today on Skillcapped, we're going over 5 tips to pull yourself out of Diamond. Hey, wait a minute. Well, why are you watching this video? You're not in Diamond. That's alright, don't worry about it. We'll catch you up to speed real quick. If you're not in Diamond yet, don't worry about it. All of our top level coaches recently came together and put together an 8-hour academy course that will teach you everything you need to know to hit Immortal in Valorant. This is all backed by a rank improvement guarantee as well. So if you don't see your rank improve while actively using our service, we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. We do this because our service actually works, and if it doesn't, then you shouldn't pay for it. Let's get back into the video, but if you really want to climb in those ranks, I recommend checking out skillcapped.com, link in the description below. Alright, so this first tip is probably going to tick you guys off, and you might laugh a little bit, but the new nickname that me and my friends have given the op is the Diamond Crutch. And to be honest, this can really go for any rank really, but in Diamond, or even Immortal, a good operator can quite literally single-handedly win you the game. Now, little Timmy, don't get too angry. I know the operator is frowned upon, but at the end of the day, you have to realize that it's a part of the game. So why wouldn't you want to use it? It has its counterplay, and if done correctly, you can completely shut an op out of the game. We'll cover this in another video, but the issue comes in when people don't know how to use teamwork, which is desperately needed in order to beat an op. Every pro team has a designated operator, and teams literally have game plans centered around their one op user. So you can't really view this weapon as a crutch, but as like a risk-reward type of weapon. The op costs 4,700 credits, and if you whiff or get killed using it, it will tank your team's economy. But if you hit your shots, you can give your team the man advantage seconds after the buy barriers drop. And if you're a really good operator user, you can get more than one and frustrate the enemy team. Who cares if they're calling you an op crutch? They don't know how to play around it, and instead of complaining, they should be focusing on how to counter your gameplay. Alright, so the next thing that'll get you out of Diamond is having good communication. Do you know how many times I'll load into my alt account and people just aren't saying a word? Diamond is technically the top 5% of ranked, and no one is saying a word to each other? Like, I don't get it. How does anybody expect to win? Yes, having good communication with your teammates is a decent amount of work, and it can be mentally draining. But honestly, that's what it takes to get out of Diamond. You should be telling your teammates what you hear, what you see, what you don't hear and see, what you want to do, the enemy's util that they already used, the list goes on and on. But these pieces of information could mean the difference between winning or losing the round. Maybe you're playing defense on Breeze, and the enemy team has gone A 10 times in a row, but on round 11, A site gets kind of quiet. You want to tell your Viper, who might have fallen asleep on B, that they need to be ready to anchor down the site and buy time for rotates. Your teammates aren't perfect, but this information can help them out immensely. Not only that, but you should be working with your teammates to accomplish things. For example, if you're playing Sky, you can flash out double doors on Breeze and double peek with your Reyna. Or you can use your Sova drone on defense to drone someone up B and clear it out for them, and then you can rotate over to A pretty quickly. At the end of the day, Valorant is a tactical shooter, and the big tactical part of it is playing with your teammates, talking to them, and trying to make game-changing plays together. That's the fun in it. Now, if you really want to rank up, I highly recommend you find a good duo partner. In Valorant, you only have 4 other teammates. That means that you have 4 chances for one of those people to be super toxic, a troll, a disconnect, or somebody who's just gonna throw your game. By having a good duo, you have someone that can rely on to usually make the right play. Not only that, but in my opinion, this is how the game is supposed to be played, with friends. You can do some cool plays together, probably trade off each other more effectively, and just be one less dice roll to be one of those throwers that I talked about before. Also, with a good duo partner, you also have someone to VOD review with and give you honest advice. VOD reviewing could be a whole point in of itself, but is one of the most important parts of improving as a player. It can be boring, but I promise by reviewing your own gameplay, you will become a better player. Here's a quote that I found from Complexity's coach on VOD reviewing. You can find this on his Twitter, which is on the screen now. So he said, "For the first part, I always recommend recording all your games. Do this in general, all the time if you want to improve. If you aren't at least recording your scrims and reviewing them, you're falling behind." Okay, it doesn't have to be scrims, but you get his point. Give yourself a few days to forget, then rewatch them. Pause the different parts of the round and access the round the best you can. What info do you have right now? Where do you think the enemy's weakest point is? Where's the op? Where could you maybe get some easy map control? Asking yourself these questions in review will make you instinctively do this in real time, and you'll become faster at it. Eventually, you'll act on these thoughts when the moment comes. These are the things that pro players do instinctively without actively thinking about it. And the best pro players do this with very high accuracy. And what he said is right in just about every way, and you should really listen to what he's saying here. So, having a good duo partner gives you another resource when it comes to improving as a player in and out of the game. And if you don't have one already, I promise you there are a ton of people out there to do it with. But we do have a Discord you can join if you want an easy way to find some like-minded people to play with. Links in the description. So some of what I mentioned before is how you're going to encounter a lot in your climb out of Diamond. From throwers to boosted accounts, racist or sexist garbage, disconnectors, all of this can just be super frustrating. It can be really tilting to lose to things that just are out of your control. But what you have to realize is that keeping your mental straight is what's going to get you out of Diamond. Anything we talked about previously just doesn't matter if you're tilted and angry at the game. You'll start whiffing shots, making stupid mistakes, and you'll start snowballing from there. And then before you know it, you're having a pretty bad game. But you can't let things that are out of your control affect how you're playing the game. Same thing goes for when you make mistakes. You have to learn quickly and move on and not let it bother you. And I get it that it's not easy, so if you can't control it, then just take a break. It's just that simple. Now here's a quick clip that I want you to see from Shroud talking about tens.
Not able to do it, but Shazam is. The Sentinels take the lead 6-5.
As we see, there hasn't been too many.
I like that even though he whiffed like a shot he shouldn't have, it was a pretty easy shot. Even though he whiffed it, he still is. He's still using the op, right? Like one whiff shouldn't deter you off of a weapon. Like it happens. Whiffs fucking happen. So I like that he committed to staying to it. He didn't like give it to anybody else. He's doing it.
Shroud couldn't have said it any better. Just because you misplay or whiff, it shouldn't affect your future rounds. And if you ever want to be an Immortal or Radiant level player, you really need to keep that in mind as you're playing. This is how you develop a rock solid mental. Then eventually, nothing will bother you anymore and you'll become unfazed. Now lastly, if you really want to climb out of Diamond, you're going to want to focus on mastering 1 or 2 agents, plus smokes. It'd be ideal that you don't learn 2 of the same role, but instead pick up a role that complements the other. Meaning, if you play a lot of Duelist, you should probably pick up an Initiator like Sova or Skye, as those agents are usually the ones who set up their Duelists. Naturally, if you main Jet, you should be able to pick up these roles faster as you know what they need to do in order to help the other role, if that makes sense. You don't need to pick your mains this way, but it makes the most sense. Plus, in my opinion, a support player who is talking and being a team player is more important than a fragging duelist, and I think a lot of pro players would agree with me. By picking 1 or 2 agents, you'll start learning niche things about them that'll give you an upper hand in your games, like certain lineups, tripwires, mollies, setups, and so on and so forth. And there's tons of streamers out there for each agent, pros and content creators alike, so just do a bit of research and you'll be surprised as to what you find. Also, please learn how to play smokes. It isn't hard, I promise. I know it's boring, but there's going to be a time where your agents get locked and you're going to have to fill controller. And if you're not a good controller, constantly leaving gaps in your smokes, not having your smoke timings down, your team is going to be at a major disadvantage. Plus, as the controller, you get to dictate the pace of the game and even set yourself up for plays by smoking off common angles for yourself. So if you want to get out of Diamond, please pick up smokes. Every high-ranking player needs to understand the role and fill it if need be. There's just not an excuse, in my opinion, for anyone in the top 5 or 1% to not know how to play a simple role like controller. And this was all just one in-depth guide that we have on our website though. Also, like I mentioned before, if you want a chance at having your VOD reviewed, be sure to subscribe on our website at skillcapped.com. We also have tons of Radiant Smurf commentaries where we have Radiant players walk you through exactly how to play in any situation at just about any rank. And they're super helpful to see in real time what goes through a top tier player's head. Like I said, it's also backed by a rank improvement guarantee, and the reason we do that is because you're just that confident that our service works. And if it doesn't work, then you shouldn't pay. So what are you waiting for? You got nothing to lose. Head on over to skillcapped.com and get started on your way to that rank that you deserve. So, I hope this video helped you guys recognize how you can get out of Diamond a bit easier. I get it. It's super frustrating being stuck at any rank, but with enough hard work and effort, I know for a fact that you can get yourself out of literally any rank. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help us out. And that's all for us. I'm Teets, and we here at Skillcapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.